Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Embark on the incredible odyssey of human evolution and begin your journey 10 million years ago in this new adventure from the creator of Assassin's Creed. Explore Neogene Africa at the dawn of humankind. For every breathtaking view, dangers lurk all around. Expand your territory by conquering fear as you explore new lands and grow your clan to find strength in numbers. Evolve over generations and decide what skills to learn. Choose what knowledge passes to future generations, making every player's journey unique. Guys, I was looking forward to this game at E3. I really was, and sadly it just hasn't turned out the way I had hoped it would. We'll start with the graphics and the sounds. The graphics just are poor, let's be honest. The hominids, or apes, whatever you want to call them, look like men in gorilla suits. I mean, they really do. They just look like people in gorilla suits, guys. Now, they do change as evolution goes on in the game. I just haven't got that far, and I don't think many other people have either, looking at some of the reviews that have just come out in the last hour. It's a bit of a shame because this game is supposed to be 50 hours long minimum. I don't think many people will get there simply because the game is far too much work and far little fun. You start off with your little group. When you start the game, you name your little group. You're thick as pig shit. You don't know how to even wipe your ass properly. You don't know anything. You have to learn everything. You even have to learn to drink, how to use your hand to cup water to actually have a drink. You don't know what food is poisonous. You don't know what medicinal properties any of the things have. You don't know whether a snake is dangerous, whether a saber-toothed tiger is dangerous, a crocodile, a wild boar, or anything. You don't know jack shit other than you can swing through the fucking trees. Well, when I say swing through the trees, what I mean is keep falling out of the trees and breaking your leg, because the control of this game is super clunky. I'm using a mouse and keyboard. It suggests you use a controller, but to be honest, both of them are just bad. There's been some bad design choices here, guys, with stuff like the controls. I'll try and explain how the controls work as I go through this review, rather than just try and explain it now, because a lot of it's situational, which I'll come to shortly. Getting back to the actual core of the game and what you do, you basically have to evolve over a period of 10 million years. That's what you have to do, and you learn knowledge by action. So, for example, you scoop water up and drink, you learn that that's a thing that you can do. If you have a couple of little babies on your back, they will see you do that, they will learn. Eventually, you can actually tell your whole group to do stuff when you get communication going and learn all these things. It's really cool, the skill tree in this game. In fact, I'd say the skill tree is fantastic in this game. A couple of the things are scraping the bottom of the barrel, mind, but the way it works is this: you go out and you analyze stuff. You'll see, and you can switch the hood off in this game. I have it on because I needed all the help I can get, because this game gives you hardly any help. As you look around, you go into what's called intelligence mode, and you get a different vision, and you can see key things like different pieces of fruit, anything that you can interact with, you'll see around the world. And you can go and pick fruit, eat it, you can rub yourself over with it, you can eat different leaves and stuff like that. And what will happen is you'll find by trial and error that these things give you a buff or a debuff. If you eat poison, or if you eat too much of stuff, you'll get an upset tummy. So you have to learn and remember what things do what. For example, certain plants heal broken bones very quickly. Certain plants will give you, well, it's actually, I think it's the coconut, gives you an anti-venom if you get bitten by a snake. There are certain leaves that you can eat that will keep you warm and dry when it's raining. It gives you a bit of protection on your coat, so you can actually buff up before actually going out on expeditions, if you like, to give yourself a fighting chance of coming home alive, because I tell you what, this world is bloody lethal. So as you go out and you're doing all these things, you're examining everything, you are triggering neurons in your brain, and you go to when you come back to your little base where you all live, and you lie down and you evolve, you can see a little skill tree that just expands more and more with repetition as you do things, and you will eventually make little neuron connections where you will learn that skill and that ability. Here's the problem with that: you don't get to keep them all, because how it works is when you get older and time does not stop. It just keeps progressing. You will eventually become an elder and die. Now, what you can do is you can forward evolution 15 years. And what happens is all the babies that's in your camp will immediately become fully grown adults in their prime. All your current adults that are getting really old will become elders, and all the elders will just die. And the problem is, like I was saying, you lose all of your skill points because they were learned by the adults that you were in the game, essentially. But for every little baby you have in your clan, you can save one of the skill points. So if you've like unlocked, I don't know, I think I unlocked something like 12 skill points, but I only had 6 babies, I could only preserve 6 of them skill points. Now the other skill points remain there for you to connect neurons to, which takes around about half an hour to redo them all, but that's half an hour that I shouldn't have to do. And that's what's the problem with this game. For example, how do you get babies? Well, from what I've seen, each female can birth 2 babies. How do you do that? Well, you have to go around as one of the apes, and you can switch between apes by just going up to another ape and pressing a button. Homids, sorry, not apes. I'm going to call them apes to make it easy. You go up to another one and you can just swap with that one. You can examine them to see what they are. Oh, you're a female, you're single. Oh, that's good. Well, I'm a male, I'm single, so I'm going to rub your back. Now, when you start rubbing something's back, and this goes for everything you do in the game, you don't know when to stop. There is a little ding, audio ding you'll hear, but you're not told that kind of at the beginning. You've just got to fathom it all out for yourself. So I'm going to help you. There's a ding. Listen for the... When you hear that, you have to stop. You let go of your controls and stop doing it, and then you'll get a little bit of a bonding going on, and you keep doing that until they become your partner. Then you lay down with them, mate, and then they'll become pregnant. You then give birth and have to watch about a 30-40 second cutscene that you can't skip. As soon as the cutscene's finished, you do it again. You mate, then give birth, watch the 40-second cutscene again, or a 1 minute cutscene, probably about a minute, and then you go and get another ape and you pair them up. You do the grooming game with them, then you call them over to your bed, mate, watch the unskippable cutscene, mate, watch the unskippable cutscene, mate, get your next ape, go around the fucking base, find another free one, hey, groom, back rub, back rub, back rub, back rub, back rub, mate, cutscene, mate, cutscene, and there you go. Then you've got your 6 little chimpies, and then you can start doing stuff like examining leaves, eating berries, and climbing trees and falling out of them, so you have to eat more berries to fix your fucking leg. But there is the combat. There are snakes, boars, there's all kinds of shit out there in the jungle, and it will bloody kill you. I've died, I've lost apes, and it's freaking frustrating. It really is, because the combat system in this game is so horrible. I don't know what they were thinking of. When you're playing a game, any game, when you press a button, that's your action. Press a button, stab, press a button, slash. In this game, it's letting go of a button. It's so unintuitive when you're playing it. It's just what the f***. And the camera angles, I don't think they could have picked a worse one. What happens is when you're out and about, you'll get your senses. If you've leveled up your senses, you'll hear and smell, and you'll get to know when there's danger as you progress through the game, and you evolve all your senses. It's really good the way they've done that, mind. And then you'll find that there's something tracking you. In the bottom left, your sensor things, your dopamines or whatever they're called, they start to go red, and there's a beast coming after you. So you look around with your sensory perception things, and you find it. And then you'll see it might be a boar charging at you. The whole game slows down to like bullet time. But what do? Well, all you're told is press spacebar. When? I don't know. Why? Do I tap it? Do I hold it down? Because half the controls in this game are duplicates. I know, we'll hold it down. What's happening? Nothing's I'm dead. Nothing. Absolutely sweet all telling you what to do. Why didn't it just have combat like, oh, I don't know, in every other game? Something like, see the tip of your spear, press the button, your spear will lunge forward, you can dodge left or dodge right out the way. That would have just been 10 times better than what you actually have in this game. And it's like that for everything, but the more you do it, the more time you'll get to react, because you'll get skill points for that. And When you've done all of that, you go back to your camp. You can also rescue other hominids that you see around, and they can join your clan. You get to communicate with your whole clan, take them out with you and do things. You teach them by learning, by saying, hey, look, I'm pulling this off a tree, you do that. Now we're going to swap it into our other hand and pull all the leaves off. You try it. And you're kind of teaching them all of these things that you learned, which is cool. It's really cool, but it's boring. And you have to do it over and over and over again. And if you die and your clan's all wiped out because you've got no babies left, you have to do it all again. There's no saved game in this. You have to start right from the beginning, sniffing leaves to wipe your fucking arse again. And I'm sorry, but it's just too boring. It's just too boring, the game. I think there are people out there that will enjoy it, and I'm going to be honest, as always, I did start to enjoy the game a lot more after about 7 or 8 hours. But my goodness, the first 7 or 8 hours was so painful that I actually wanted to download a hunting game and shoot the fucking apes in that with a fucking machine gun because I hated them so much. There's also a savannah area in this game, if you can actually get that far. I didn't. I'm kind of done with this game. It's just too much like work. It's a game at the end of the day, but it feels more like a university app to show people how evolution may or may not have happened. That's the problem with it. It's an experience, not a game, and it should be a game. It should be more fun. The combat should be way better. You shouldn't lose half your skills when you forward evolution. You just shouldn't. A couple, all right. You're punishing the player for having to work his arse off to get them. You're then just taking them off and punishing the player. That gives the player a bad experience. It's a negative thing. The fact that might rest better with how evolution actually happened is irrelevant. This is a game, and it should always feel like you're playing a game, and you should always be rewarded, even if you have to bend the rules a little bit to do that. And this game doesn't. It just like wraps your knuckles every time you go out and you work for 2 or 3 hours, and it just wraps your knuckles and say, yeah, we're taking it off you now. You haven't worked enough. Go over there and sniff that, eat that, rub that on your fucking dick. Well, it doesn't do that, but do you know what I mean? It's a lot of the gameplay elements are just not fun enough for me, and the combat is a massive letdown. It could have been great, this game, and it should have been, and it still could be. I mean, I hope the developers don't give up on this, because we don't have anything else like this. I thought it was going to be like Spore, but it ended up being a bore. Yeah, I kind of worked on that for about 30 minutes. That's bad, I know. So there you go, guys. I'm very disappointed at how this game's worked out. I do want to thank the developers for the press key for this, and if you do want to buy it, you can get it on Green Man Gaming. It is an Epic Store exclusive for a year, then it's coming to Steam. But if you click the link in the description, you can go straight to Green Man Gaming and you can grab it there. But I don't think it's going to appeal to that many of you. Such a shame.